In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys tips and tricks on how to go 5-0 in the Triple Threat Park to get your GOAT piece today and for next Sunday as well. So if you guys are struggling to go 5-0 and be able to get your GOAT piece, I'm going to be giving you guys some, helpful advice and tips and tricks on how you guys can best build your lineup and then hopping into a Triple Threat Park game and talking about what I do in each game to help me win these games and just try to give you guys the best advice possible. To go 5-0, a lot of the times it comes down to luck and the opponents that you're playing. You can face God squads and people that are sweats every single time, or sometimes I've had runs where I face people that aren't very good and don't have very good teams. So a lot of the times it comes down to luck, but I can definitely give you guys some helpful tips and tricks to help you guys improve your gameplay when it comes to the Triple Threat Park to get this GOAT piece, because I know a lot of people want to go 5-0. They want to get this GOAT piece to obviously exchange for MT or even just to grind for players in the exchanges. So the first thing I want to talk about in the Triple Threat Park, we can go into the Triple Threat Park and I'll talk about the lineup first here in a second. So the lineup does matter quite a bit. In my personal opinion, I think it matters a lot more than people might actually realize. So I'm also talking about how to go 5-0 if you're playing by yourself. Now, if you're playing with two other people, it's a whole different kind of story because you have to know how to play alongside two people. You have to kind of have good chemistry and know how to talk on defense and all that type of stuff. So I'm only talking about if you're playing by yourself and if you're trying to go 5-0 in Triple Threat Online, like Triple Threat Park, just by playing by yourself. So when it comes to the lineup, the main thing you want to have is at least one shot creating card. Now, this shot creating card preferably is nice to have a taller card, for example, like Dark Matter Beasley. Dark Matter Michael Beasley is one of the best offensive cards in this entire game, but he's also 6'9", so he's able to play good defense, and his defensive stats are also very solid. 85 block, 90 steal, 90 perimeter, 90 interior defense. Like, he can be a good enough defensive card. But what you guys want to focus on, it doesn't have to be Michael Beasley, but pick a card that's preferably taller. Like I said, that's a really good offensive card. So if you want to go for Dark Matter Man Thompson, you want him to be your main shot creator, then go ahead and pick Dark Matter Man Thompson. Or maybe you have Pink Diamond Beasley, right? He can still be one of the best offensive cards in this game, and he's not going to really cost you much MT. He's like 25k. He's a nice, really good budget option. So I'm not telling you guys what card you have to use. I'm just saying, pick your main card, your first choice. It doesn't really matter where you put them in the lineup, but just say for your first choice, pick your offensive card. So for me, I'm gonna go Dark Matter Beasley. Now, for your second choice, I feel like if you have a good enough squad and you have cards like 100 overall Glen Rice, he's another really good offensive card. He can be my main shot creator, but he's also like a really good defensive card. He's 6'8" with 99 every single defensive stat. He's got tons of Hall of Fame defensive badges. So for a team like this, and if you have these good of cards, then yes. I mean, this is my no money spent account, by the way, but I do have, really good cards like Beasley, Glen Rice and Wemby, because this is the three that I'll be running. But what you guys can do if you don't have a Glen Rice or if you don't have these good of cards is you want your secondary card to be a really good defender, but that can also shot create a little bit. So for me, for example, Jaden McDaniels, he would be a good card to run with because you want to have one card, again, that's tall enough. I think height is really important when it comes to Triple Threat Park. You want to make sure that your players are tall enough, because I found a lot of people even run big man lineups. Like, they'll go Beasley, for example, as their main guard who's 6'9", and then they'll go, Donovan Clingan, or they'll go D-Rob and Wemby, and they just try to stack height. So then if you have a guard, the guard's not going to be able to guard Beasley, and then also their wings probably not going to be able to guard a Wemby or a D-Rob, who are 7'1" and 7'4". So a lot of people like to stack height on their teams. So I think try to have as tall as players as possible. But like AK-47, if you have this card, he can be a great secondary card. He's a really good defender, one of the best locks in this game, but he's also 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, and he can be a great interior defender as well. So making sure for your first two positions, they're tall players, one of them being really good offensively, one of them being really good defensively. But of course, if you can have a combo of both, try to do that. Like Glen Rice, he's a great lockdown defender, he's tall, but he's also really good offensively. So you want to try to have a combo of both. But if you're rocking like a budget squad, or maybe rocking some like cheaper players, going for example Pink Diamond Beasley as your main shot creator, and going, let's say, Dark Matter AK. I know he's a little bit more expensive, but if you go Dark Matter AK, this would be a really good 1-2 punch as well. You have good offense with Beasley, you have great shot creation with Beasley, but then you also have amazing defense, a really good jump shot on AK-47. And then for your center position, I mean, a Galaxy Opal Wemby, a Pink Diamond Wemby are really good options. You want to have tall centers that obviously can shoot the basketball very well. You don't want to have a center that can't shoot, and you also don't want to have like a Moses Malone as your center, because yes, he can shoot, he's only 6'10", and to run your center card as only 6'10" is going to be a huge flaw. So for your center position, again, you want to have like a shot creating card, a defensive card, and a center. For your center, I would say try to have them at least like 7'1", 7'2", A D-Rob would be a good card to run. You know, Donovan Clingan, I know a lot of people have this card. He's a really good card to run in Triple Threat Park as well. For me, I'm going to go Galaxy Opal Wemby. If you have Pink Diamond Wemby, he's also a really good choice, but the center position isn't too like important when it comes to making sure they're really good offensively or making sure they're defensively really good. Just make sure they're tall enough and they can shoot the basketball and they're somewhat good of a defensive card. That's all you pretty much need to have. So I'm going to put my main cards back into the lineup here, and we're going to actually go hop into a game. Alrighty guys, so looking at my opponent's team, this is what matters as well. I can see he's got Tim Duncan, Kawhi, and Jack Sigma, right? So what I'm going to notice is his only really great shot creation card is Tim Duncan. So that's the card that I got to pay attention to most likely on the defensive end, is he's probably going to run his offense a lot through Tim Duncan. So put your best defender that's, you know, tall enough to guard a card like Tim Duncan, for example. You know, if you have a smaller, really good lockdown defender who's only like 6'7", then yeah, maybe you don't want to put that card on Tim Duncan. But if you have a card, you know, like a 6'9" AK-47, put him onto Tim Duncan and just try to figure out who is the other team's best scoring card. Now in offense, I like to run a lot of my offense in transition, so I like playing defense and just scoring that way. But if I have to score in the half court, I'm pretty much just spamming pick and roll. I will say, as you guys can see, I'm not taking a 2 because I think 3s are so much more important. That's my main tip. As you guys can see, I could have taken the 2 there wide open, but I'm confident in my ability to get the 3-point shot. And that's the same thing for defense. You want to try to limit as many 3s as possible. If you're only letting them take 2s and you're hitting 3s, you're gonna have a lot higher of a chance to win. So that's my main tip for defense, is going to be know who you're guarding. Like if you know who your opponent's best scorer is, know who they are, and just try to limit the 3-point shots. But I really think your defense matters more than your offense, because if we get the stop, now we got to move in transition. We got to try to run in transition, find Beasley here. We might get an open look. I feel like that's a decent look for Beasley, and we missed. That's okay. But I think getting up 3s in transition is probably the most effective way to score the ball in Triple Threat Park. So really focus on your defense, right? Try to get stops. Again, it's going to be hard against good cards. Tim Duncan, he's really good offensively. Just going to try to stick in front of him, play good defense, hands up. I mean, that's fine. That's a 2-pointer. That's a difficult shot to hit. Again, we're going to push that ball in transition. We're going to move, we're going to attack into the paint, pump fake. I'll take my wide open 2 here, because now I know I have a 5-2 lead. Once you get a lead, this is where you really want to hone in on no 3-pointers. Once you get a lead built up 3, 6 points, 8 points, just try to allow no 3s. I'm telling you guys, it is going to really help you out. Watch that corner. Good almost steal there by Beasley. I can't really give you guys much tips when it comes to actually playing defense. You just got to be able to stick in front of your defender, know how to switch on and off ball. That's something you guys just have to learn. But I will say, try to play as much 3-point defense as possible. And what I mean by that is just limit the 3-pointer. So make sure I'm there. No 3s. We're good. No 3s. Switch onto that. We're back. Again, if he's going to take these fade shots in the mid-range, I am perfectly okay with that. Yes, I want to be getting stops. That's something that is obviously super helpful, but I'm more worried about the 3-point shot. And on offense, again, just spam pick and roll and look to try to find somebody in the pick and pop, or look to get downhill. We got a pick and pop wide open, or at least we got a little bit of space. That was a good contest by Jack Sigma. Now we got to get back there in transition, because transition, I'm telling you guys, is the easiest way to score the basketball. We're here, good defense on Kawhi, trying to just stay in front. Again, not going to allow a 3. I'm going to send a little A switch there. He's just going to take mid-ranges in the 2. I'm okay with that. If that's his main source of offense, even though I'm losing right now, I just got to be playing better offensively, but I'm perfectly okay. Now, another way you can run your offense is if you have a card like Wemby. If you're using Pink Diamond Wemby, okay, I'm trying to get Wemby to go to the corner. If Wemby goes to the corner, I'll show you guys here in a second what I'm trying to do. But what I do is, if I have Wemby in the corner, I like to kick out to the corner, and you should be able to get a wide open shot with Victor Wembanyama every single time. So if you have a card like Wemby, or a card that has a really quick jump shot, uncontestable jump shot, make sure that they're in the corner. Again, get to that 3-point line. That's fine. We're good. Watch that 3-pointer. Get to the 3-point line. We're good. Perfect defense right there. Just baited him completely. But yeah, what I'm saying is, if you have a card like even like Beasley, Wemby, who has a really quick or uncontestable jump shot, no, we let up a 3. Okay, that's fine. See, perfect. We're good. No 3-pointers. Get back out to Kawhi. We're there. Perfect. No 3s. Jump for the mid-range. It's a good shot by my opponent, but he's going to miss. Now we got to push, right? Push, push, push. Get out there in transition. Victor Wembanyama, wide open. That right there, guys, I'm telling you, is how you build your lead up by a ton. You get a stop, you push that ball in transition, and look to the wings, look to the corners to try to find an open 3. Again, no 3-pointers. That's fine. I'm going to try to help down. That's a 2. We're good. He's going to hit that, but that's fine. Again, my opponents only hit 2-pointers. I'm okay with that. I'm hitting majority of my 3s, and that's something that's going to be super helpful. But like I was talking about with the Wembanyama thing, is that's a good way to score the ball. If you're kind of boxed, is just pass the ball to the corner, and a lot of times you should be able to get that open shot. So again, I'm not taking that 3. We're going to be patient. That's another thing, is be patient as we get an illegal screen. That's fine. Don't get flustered. It's obviously Not a great thing that happened right there. We got a little bit unfortunate, a little bit unlucky. Don't get flustered. Just go back, try to get a stop on the defensive end. But I'm telling you guys, scoring the ball in transition, that's bad defense. He's going to get a wide open three. That is not good. He missed. We got lucky there. But again, so push that ball in transition, get to the 3-point line. Wemby, a little bit of room, maybe wasn't the best of shots. We got the board, but that's fine. I just love getting those 3-pointers. He's not going to, he actually left us open a little bit there. Wemby should have a wide open shot on Jack Sigma. I'm telling you guys, this is why you want to have Wemby on your team. This is why he is so helpful to have, because there's not many other cards in the game that can do that right there with passing the ball to him in the corner, and he gets that wide open shot. We're playing good defense. Again, we have not let up a single 3-pointer. I'm telling you guys, that is the key to success. Get back out to the 3-point line. Back out to the 3-point line, we're good. Wemby gets a steal, and again, run. Find Beasley. He's probably going to click on. He doesn't click on, but back out to Wemby. That's a good steal. That is really good defense. He read me perfectly there. Luckily, we get the ball back. But I'm telling you guys, you get stops. Don't try to just run your offense in the half court. Push that ball as humanly fast. Like, just try to run as fast as possible. You know, just go. And then you also want to be, you know, looking for the corners, looking for the wings, and looking for that wide open shot. So pump fake, back out to Beasley. Again, we want that 3-pointer. We're going to go to the 3-point line, take that wide open 3 with Beasley, and knock it down. Now we're up 17-8. This is where, again, if you get a big lead like this, literally no threes. Just say to yourself, do not let him shoot a 3-point shot. If he wants to take a 2, I'm perfectly okay with that. So you can blitz screens, you can come out high. Now, the game is going to be stupid sometimes, and it's going to drop the corners like that right there. It's very unfortunate. There's nothing you can do about that. There's no setting to change. There's nothing you can do with your team dropping corners. It's very frustrating, but you can kind of abuse that on the offensive end. You can try to, you know, force your opponent's corners to drop. But again, we're going to go to the basket. If you have a lead like this, I will say taking 2s is fine. If it's 17-11, for example, maybe you can start hunting the 2-point shot a little bit more, because you know, you only need a couple more baskets to win. Again, look at my patience, right? I'm being super patient, and you know, it's not going to work out there. We get a little bit unfortunate, but I'm telling you guys, being patient is the key to success. Eliminating the 3-pointers, the key to success. Pushing the ball in transition are the key to successes. Those are all of the best tips and tricks I can give you guys. Now, I don't want to win this game, because on my no money spent account, I'm going to be doing, you know, in my episode, I'm going to be doing the video where I go 5-0 for the go piece. So I'm going to try not to win this game. Those are all my best tips and tricks. I'm just going to go ahead and let my opponent win now, because again, I want to actually go 5-0 in the video. I don't want to already have a win, because I'm already on my no money spent account. But I think we pretty comfortably would have won that game. So just going to give him wide open shots. Hopefully you guys did find this video helpful, and you guys did, you know, kind of get, you know, the best advice possible. If you guys have any more questions and you're struggling with anything else, maybe there's something specifically that happens in the games. Let me just go ahead and miss that on purpose. But yeah, if there's something that's happening in the games that you guys specifically are struggling with and you guys want help with, like if you can't guard pick and roll, or if you don't know how to shoot, or if you don't know how to score, you know, maybe ask some questions down below and I can give you guys some pointers. But I think those tips, again, limit 3s, push the ball in transition. Those are like the 2 main things. Know who the best offensive card in the other team is, right? Have a Victor Wembanyama card with a really fast jump shot, put them in the corner, run a lot of pick and roll, be patient on offense. Those are like the best tips and tricks when it comes to actually winning triple threat park games and going 5-0. Hopefully you guys did find this video helpful. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.